Welcome back to another episode of Stories Behind the Walls, where we give voice to those silenced by the system and shine light on the truth hiding in plain sight. I'm your host, Annabelle, with Voices for Justice Incorporated. And today's episode is packed with powerful knowledge that could change lives, policies, and the way we fight for civil rights behind prison walls. And remember, this is just a preview of what's going to come at our free civil rights workshop happening August the 2nd at 2 p.m. It is a virtual class going to be held in Google Meet. We're inviting community members, advocates, families of incarcerated loved ones, and especially those eager to learn how the law is supposed to protect people even inside prison walls. So let's talk about it. When we talk about demanding accountability inside prisons or jails, we're not just talking about policy. We're talking about the law. One of the most powerful legal tools we have is Section 1983, formerly known as 42 U.S.C. 1983. This law allows individuals and those incarcerated to sue state or local officials who violate their federally protected rights while acting, quote, quote, under color of law. That includes correctional officers, facility supervisors, medical providers contracted by the state, even departments or agencies if the policy itself is causing harm. If someone in the state's custody is denied medical care, left in extreme heat, harassed for speaking out, or housed in conditions that risk their health or safety, Section 1983 is a pathway to seek justice. At our August 2nd workshop, we'll be walking you through real cases, showing how families and advocates can help gather the facts and even start the process to hold the system accountable through federal court. So let's go a little bit deeper. You've heard us mention this before, but it bears repeating. The Eighth Amendment of the Constitution prohibits cruel and unusual punishment. That means once someone is in state custody, the state has a duty to keep them safe, provide adequate medical care, and maintain humane living conditions. For those not yet convicted, like people in pretrial detention, the 14th Amendment's Due Process Clause provides similar protection. In a landmark case called Estelle v. Gamble, the Supreme Court ruled that deliberate indifference to serious medical needs of prisoners violates the Eighth Amendment. That ruling laid the groundwork for holding prisons accountable when they ignore suffering. And what does deliberate indifference mean? It means a prison official knew about a serious risk but did nothing. That could be, for example, ignoring broken air conditioning during a heat wave, failing to replace power in a cell where someone relies on a medical machine, letting mold fester where people eat and sleep, denying care after a clear medical emergency. If this is happening, it's not just unethical, it may be illegal. Let's talk process, because knowledge is power. To file a Section 1983 lawsuit, you must submit a formal complaint in the U.S. District Court detailing the following. Number 1, what happened? Number 2, who did it? Number 3, what constitutional rights were violated? And number 4, what harm was caused? If you can't afford the filing fee, you can request to proceed in forma pauperis, meaning the court will waive the fee if you qualify. You'll need to serve the complaint to the officials involved, respond to any motions filed, and participate in a discovery, which is where you exchange evidence. If you win, you could receive monetary compensations, court orders to fix the conditions, coverage for legal fees. But here's the thing. These lawsuits are not easy. Most are filed pro se, meaning without a lawyer. That's why we're dedicating a big part of our August 2nd workshop to understanding your rights and how to build a strong record from the moment something happens. One of the biggest obstacles to justice, unfortunately, is fear of retaliation. We've heard countless reports, like the one we shared last episode, about incarcerated people being threatened or punished for filing grievances are having their families call the facility. Take the case we reported recently. A medical vulnerable inmate in Delaware's Department of Correction facility had lost power during a 100-degree day and did not have access and could not use his medical machine. Instead of fixing the issue immediately or relocating the inmate to a different cell that had power, staff reportedly entered his tier not to help, but to tell him to make his family stop calling. Folks, this is absolutely unacceptable. And it's exactly why we push for independent oversight, stronger accountability policies, and the right to file 1983 actions when DOC silence or inaction turns into serious harm. We know the system isn't built to protect the vulnerable, but when we know our rights, when we speak up, and when we organize, change becomes possible. That's why we're inviting you to join us on August 2nd at 2 p.m. for a free virtual civil rights workshop. We'll walk you through what rights are under the Constitution, what Section 1983 is, and how to use it, how to document and report abuse, how to advocate without fear, how families and loved ones can help you from the outside. To register for this workshop, visit our website or go to our social media at Stories Behind the Walls and click the link in our bio. Let's empower ourselves to fight smarter, louder, and legally. Thank you for listening to Stories Behind the Walls. This work is not easy, but it's necessary. To every family, advocate, and currently or formerly incarcerated person, we see you, we hear you, and we are fighting for justice with you. I'm Annabelle. Until next time, stay informed, stay loud, and never stop demanding the dignity we all deserve.